Hey there, ladies and gents, my name's Allison and welcome back to You Cook, the show where I teach you how to cook in college. Super easy, super fun. Last week we showed you some really fun, easy kind of microwave tricks, and we're gonna keep that ball rolling, except for this time, all of you with a sweet tooth are gonna be very happy. We're doing all desserts today. Some of them are even gonna be in a mug. Alright, so for this first recipe, we're gonna start off pretty simple. It's one you've probably heard. If you ever just kind of wanted the gratification of a nice warm cookie, you know, sit in your bed, watch a horror movie, but you either don't have an oven or, you know, you're just lazy, well, this is a cookie in a mug. So for this recipe, you're gonna start with all the basics for a normal cookie dough. You've got your butter, your sugar, flour, vanilla, eggs, and the most important part, outside of the mug, your chocolate chips. That's my favorite part, at least. When you first start, what you're gonna do is you're gonna actually melt your butter. So you take your mug, we've already pre-melted our butter, put it in there. Simple enough, easy, whatever. Now, the next step, what you're gonna do is go ahead and add your sugars. I've got both of them in here. So add those guys in, and you're gonna do your vanilla next. Now for me, the recipe calls for a teaspoon. I'm a glutton for punishment. I always put at least twice the amount in because I like the way it makes them taste. So I'm throwing in 1 teaspoon. And then a pinch of salt is what's next. So now you can set that off to the side. So this next part, kind of fun, a little interesting, a little weird, hopefully teaching you something cool, how I crack my eggs. More importantly, how I separate my eggs. So right here, egg, bowl, easy. I'm gonna go ahead and crack it. Simple enough. Now, I'm sure we're all college students, you've got some sort of water bottle laying around. We've got one right here. So you're gonna take it, and you're gonna actually squeeze it a little bit, push all the air out, set it right on top of the yolk, and suck it right in there, and the yolk pops right off, and your whites are right in there. Separated egg, bomb, awesome. So now, go ahead, leave your whites, throw them away, or if you're into health weirdness, you can make like a dang white omelet or something, but who wants that? We're making cookies. Yolk goes in there, done. Mix it all up nice and good. That looks really nasty, kind of like brown tar that's got some sand in it, but I don't know, maybe you're into that kind of thing. All right, good, done, awesome. Next step, you'll take your flour, kind of mix it in a little slow so that way you don't create some weird avalanche of mess all over your counter, because nobody really wants that. And just kind of stir it while you do it. So you mix your wet and your dry ingredients, create giant avalanche puff clouds. It's all fun and games here. You gotta work it in there because, you know, flour and wet ingredients apparently don't like to mix, and that's not a fun time. They don't play nice with each other. All right. Now, as I mentioned, my favorite part, chocolate chips. Put however much you want. Hey, you don't even have to do chocolate chips. You can do M&Ms, you can crunch up some pretzels, put some nuts in there if you're not allergic. As we say here, and you cook, you do you. Mix that all together. This just is like happiness right here. Now, if you wanted to, you could even forego the egg and just eat the dough, because, you know, that's happiness right there. But we're making a cookie, so we're gonna stick this thing in the microwave. Looks pretty good, as you can see. Nice soft cookie in there, nicely done, almost golden brown, awesome. And you know, honestly, do whatever you want. Google it. Brownies, cakes, whatever. A big mug like this is perfect because you can throw some ice cream on top of it and eat it with a spoon. It's generally just a mug of happiness. You know, finals week, you might find yourself needing more mugs because of how often you're gonna make this. Next up, we're gonna move on to something a little salty. Alright, so for our second recipe, we're actually going to be doing something new for me. We're making caramel corn. So with this one, we have to be a little careful with it being new. I don't know what I'm doing necessarily, so I'm taking all my precautions. Keeping this nearby. So for this first step, what we're gonna need is some brown sugar, some baking soda, butter, and corn syrup. So I've got some of those measured out already. Go ahead and put them in a microwave-safe bowl. Got your butter, put that guy in there, and take your corn syrup. What we're gonna do is we're gonna mix all these guys together. Ooh, this is actually gonna be caramel. I don't know about you guys, but I've never made caramel before, so I'm pretty excited. So just kind of mix it all together. It looks pretty crumpy and gross, but we're gonna microwave it. So it will become nice soft caramel. Okay. Into the microwave we go. All right, so here we've got our pretty nice looking caramel. And as with, you know, most experimentation in college, I've actually messed up this recipe already. We were supposed to put the baking soda in now, but I already did that. So, I mean, it looks all right. It's still doing caramely things. It should be fine. The end result will be interesting. For now, we're gonna add in our vanilla and our salt right into the caramel. So we're doing half a teaspoon of vanilla right in there. And then we're gonna toss in just a little bit of salt. Mix that up nice, and see, you know, it's working just fine. The caramel does actually start to harden a little bit, and I'm pretty sure that is due to the baking soda. So it might not look like this when you make it. Read directions, kids, that's my advice for today. Don't you do you for this, because it's not gonna work right. All right, so we already have our pre-packed bag of popcorn. We did this while we were mixing the caramel here, so that's when you should do it too. So you go ahead and open this guy up. And here's where I'm gonna ask someone from my crew to be a weird pair of hands for me. So if I can get some extra hands. Thank you. And we're gonna slowly, now be careful because this will be hot. It's cooled down a tiny bit so I can touch it. Slowly mix in the caramel. It smells really good. Yeah, it definitely smells interesting. So now here we get to a very, very fun part where we try to shake this the best we can with caramel in here. I don't know how well it's gonna work out. So pause while I shake. It is working though! So what we're gonna do to make things a little bit easier is actually separate this popcorn out of the bag into two separate bowls. As you can see, it's pretty sticky. The caramel does seem to be working though, so there is still hope for this recipe. Okay. So that's looking like that. This one's looking like this. Now we actually do microwave this again for 1 minute. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. Get that rolling. Then we will have hopefully fairly decent caramel corn. I don't know, first time making it, not a complete fail, we shall see. All right, so we've got these guys out of the microwave, and for the most part, it seems to be doing all right. It kind of does gather a little bit to the bottom, but just grab yourself a spoon or a fork and mix it up a little bit. It smells awesome. Try not to get it all over your counter because that will not be fun to clean up later, but yes, I'm cleaning it up later anyway. So yeah, just mix that up and, or, you know, just eat it off the counter because who cares about bowls? But anyway, so we've kind of covered two of our bases so far. We've got chocolate, we've got salty. Next, we're gonna move on to something a little bit fruity. So in this more fruity recipe, we're going for something kind of fun. It's gonna be our strawberry cobbler. So for this recipe, you're gonna need strawberries, powdered sugar, milk, butter, baking powder, and flour, as well as sugar. So first step, you're actually going to take your strawberries and slowly figure out an easy way to put them into your very small mason jar. And then you're gonna take your powdered sugar and pour that in there very slowly. don't need more dust clouds happening like we had with the flour earlier. And just get it everywhere because, again, you're getting angry at things. Close enough. You'll clean later. So easy step, you mix these guys together. And you're gonna wanna make sure you mix it really nice because you don't want dusty strawberries, and it's gonna go from looking really, really nasty to actually looking like the strawberries have a bit of a syrup. Now for this is something that my family and I actually do. We go ahead and take some strawberries, use regular sugar, mix them up together, let it sit in the fridge, and we'll put it on top of like buttermilk biscuits or pretty much whatever. So there you go, went from looking really weird to actually really good. Now for our next step, we're gonna need our bowl of flour. So we already have that right here. This is a separate bowl, by the way. And then you're going to mix in the sugar, which you just need a tablespoon, so I didn't measure that out already. And then you're gonna also throw in your baking powder, which I have in a very obnoxiously sized measuring spoon for a very small amount. So just mix that together nice. And then your next step, you're going to take some nice room temperature butter. Even melted would work fine. Put that in your dry ingredients, and then take some milk, put that in there as well. So the goal with this is to kind of make some sort of a batter kind of consistency. So just sit here, take your time mixing it. Think about, you know, all the papers you should be writing right now instead. Or just, you know, not thinking about that because you're doing something that's going to bring happiness to your life instead of sadness. Alright, so now you've got a nice kind of batter consistency. You're going to take your mason jar, scrape that right onto the top in there. It doesn't have to look pretty, so we're going to top it with something fun. Alright, so that's good to go. We're gonna pop this in the microwave for about 2 minutes. Alright, so this turned out really fun. I grabbed a paper towel because it definitely kind of, you've even put a marshmallow in the microwave because it kind of did the same thing. It just went, it made that sound too. And it got all over my microwave, so it might get all over yours. So maybe put it on a plate. But I have a paper towel here to protect the counter. But so this is gonna be like a warm, almost apple pie kind of thing, except for with strawberries. So what goes great with strawberries? Whipped cream, duh. So that's gonna be our final topper. Make it beautiful. So that's all we have. So we're gonna wrap this up, bring back all the dishes. I want all my crew to come back here. It's gonna be great. And that's all I've got for you today. Next episode, we're gonna do something super cool with ramen. Very excited. So yeah, that's all I've got for you. Don't forget to call your mom. That's you, cook. Yo, goes in there. Done. You're gonna mix it up. I don't have any way to mix this.
Please stand by.
Yes, the fork is exactly what I need. Thank you so much. You know what would have been real embarrassing if I put the whites in instead of the yolk. Alright, even this nearby, because, you know, sugar's in the microwave. Fires, I don't want that. No, no. Okay, so glad I got that covered. Also, have you ever worked with corn syrup? It's kind of gross. Color's a little weird, but again, probably because I put the baking soda in at the wrong time, because Allison's a genius. That's why we're seniors in college. Yeah, right? Getting that degree, learning when to bake. Awesome.
Yeah.
What's dripping?
I have no clue.
It's dripping from the hole on the side. I tried to cover it. It didn't work. I made it worse.
Yeah, it's nice. It's going fast. Oh.
Same. Because, you know, papers bring me sadness. I know I have about 3 to write that are all due in 2 days. So that's a fun time. We've all been there. And me being the procrastinator I am, you know, won't write them till the day they're due.